Hello everyone. Do you like jokes? Well, apparently I did, because 10 years ago today, on April Fool's Day, I started this channel. Yeah, it's 10 years old now. That's a whole decade of what is effectively a bad joke that has turned into a good joke at times, and then back to a bad one, and then a good one again, and then so on and so forth, and it will probably do that until the end of time. I've always joked that this channel is the longest running April Fool's joke I've ever done, because I don't really do April Fool's jokes, but I have a YouTube channel that I started on April Fool's Day, and whether or not you think it's a joke depends on whether or not you like my content, I guess. But regardless, this is a milestone and a half in my opinion. This is my first time showing my face in a couple of months, so it feels a bit weird, because actual comments, that ended in February on episode 69, for obvious funny reasons. Why don't I title this video Actual Comments 70? Nah, I'm better than that. But yes, I suppose I'm showing my face here to prove to you all that I do still indeed have a beard. I still look like a BTEC shape-shifting homeless equivalent to a semi-professional celebrity lookalike. So now that's out the way, let's reflect on the past 10 years of making content, I guess. I'll try to make it not too much of a drag, if I can help it, but we'll see. So I made this account, this channel, on the 1st of April 2013, exactly 10 years ago, and I didn't make content at first. I didn't make videos of any kind. I probably just created the account to type out angry hate comments, or whatever it is that 13-year-olds do when given unrestricted access to the internet. But it was around the time that I got my first smartphone. It was a HTC Desire C. Props to my mum for copying that one. And, you know, I realised it had a camera feature, so I started recording myself doing things that don't make sense to me. They're not like explicit or anything concerning, they're just disturbed because they make no sense. And even now I couldn't explain to you younger me's thought process in posting any of this stuff, but hey, if I didn't post something, and no matter what it was going to be terrible. I wasn't an especially gifted 13-year-old or anything like that. I was just as much an idiot then as I am now, so that tells you all you need to know. But it is my belief that if I hadn't begun then, I likely never would have, because I would have got to that limbo stage where I'm like, right, I could do that, but it's going to suck. I'm better off not. Or, you know the point where you start to develop self-awareness. Yeah, that. It's all well and good once your soul's already been sold to Satan, but in the meantime, if you've got self-awareness, you're fucked. So in that sense, I feel like the secret to success for me was putting myself out there whilst also having no clue what the actual fuck I was putting myself out to. My first year primarily comprised of me posting gameplay videos recorded on my phone, growing not very much at all, because nobody wants to watch that content, and rightfully so. Well, until you've developed better content, and then it becomes a virtual meme factory, which is exactly why YouTube needs to bring back sorting channel videos by oldest first. Then I started to get a hold of some proper equipment in 2014, i.e. an actual gaming PC rather than an old Dell PC with Windows XP and fuck all power that could just about cheese run Gary's mod, and capture equipment so I could record gameplay without having to use a phone, because that is not the pinnacle of recorded gaming content. And the quality of my content slowly developed from terrible to just bad, so it was progress. And it wasn't really until about 2016 that I started to take things seriously. Obviously, at this point, I was the only one taking it seriously. Nobody else necessarily. Maybe my mum understood what I was going for, but most others were like, what are you doing? And fair enough. Don't get me wrong, I feel like I minced my words there. I wasn't without support, but nobody was under any illusion that this could be some kind of career or something crazy like that. Around this point, I developed quite the audience of people wanting to see content about Assassin's Creed, and so things were going well on the YouTube front. The content was passable by this point, and I was going into college, and obviously I was studying A-levels, and I wasn't necessarily too interested in the A-levels at all. In fact, I only came away with one in history, so I guess that's where decades owes its origins to. But no, I didn't really think university was going to be for me. I wanted to do something self-employed, and I didn't exactly have any talents or any idea what I wanted to do in my life, and to some extent I still don't. But you know, by the time I was done with college in 2018, I had a few dozen thousand subscribers, which was a significantly large number, or a large feeling number at the time, and it is a decent whack of people. It's more than you could fit in a room or a semi-detached council estate house in Slough, if they do semi-detached down that way. And then Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and it's been growing ever since. We hit 100,000, 200,000, then 300,000 about a year ago in 2022, and now we're sitting at 363,000 subscribers, which is a decent whack of people. Again, more than you could fit in the biggest static caravan on the planet, for certain. We've done many series, we've done an endless amount of live streams, we've done some charity events over the years. Granted, for the most part, that was somebody else organising it. The biggest one that springs to mind was the Gamers Against Cancer thing, where we raised a decent amount of money for charity. But look, in the end of the day, we had fun doing it. And I've certainly made some friends for life through what I do over these past 10 years that I cannot imagine existing in a world without, or even without the knowledge of their very existence, which is the reality of a world where the internet didn't exist. So over the past decade on this channel, I have posted over 5,000 videos, most of which probably aren't even worth watching, but yeah, there's lots of content that's been posted of varying different degrees of quality and on different games and things like that, where I've really explored my enjoyment of video games mixed with my passion for making video content in one, and those two things have sort of wrapped up together at this point. And then of course last year as well, I realised that this passion for making video content would just be wasted focusing entirely on gaming when I also have a passion for history. So I buddied up with my mate Connor and my other mate Aidan, and we started Decades last year, and that's almost got 50 videos on there, all of which are brilliant in my opinion. I'm more involved with some projects than others, but I'm always editing them regardless, so I suppose I'm fully involved all the time, and I've had a great time making content over there and learning more about creating video with things in real life that video game footage doesn't necessarily teach you. So I guess I'm just developing my skills, if you could call it that, because I'm not that good, let's be real. But I'm grateful that after 10 years of hard work, I've got that comfort in where my main channel is at, that I can just branch off and take a gamble on starting a new channel in a completely different genre of video on this platform, and hope for the best, really. And so far it's been working out nice and slow, which is almost satisfying in its own way, but stupid amounts of fun. And we've been having a blast doing it. We always look forward to a new project over on Decades, and hopefully that will keep having content added to it for years to come. So going forward, really, we've got tons of plans over there, and I've got tons of plans for this channel to keep going, keep on trucking, I guess. But I'd like to wrap this video up nice and swiftly by saying thank you for all of your support, and for allowing me to do literally the only thing I've ever been good at, which is being a buffoon online. In essence, the milestone is 10 years of producing content of varying degrees of questionable quality, but I did feel like it was too special a moment to just ignore. So thanks again. If you like history, subscribe to Decades. And yeah, well, let's get cracking on the next 10 years then, shall we? What's the worst that could happen? Where will my sanity be in 10 years? Where will my hairline be in 10 years? Alright, thanks again, see you in a bit.